Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Thanks for joining me. Today's project is replacing this turn signal switch housing. You can see the turn signal switch is missing, and these are becoming harder and harder to find. This is a 2001 Kawasaki KLR650, and these run used online 60 to 80 bucks plus shipping. So I thought for $15 I can get a universal one made of metal. The quality appears pretty good. It's a little bit narrower than the stock one, which is going to be good because the universal one doesn't have a mirror mount, so I'll have to get a universal mirror mount 10mm thread to mount up beside that. And also the choke needs to be relocated. Lucky for me, this one is not usable anyway because the part down at the carburetor is broken, so I've ordered just a hand operated choke or enricher valve for down here, so I'll just operate it with my hand down there. So we've addressed the mirror, we'll have the new switch housing, and my plan is to cut the factory harness off of this and splice it onto this one, so when we bring it back to the garage it should just be plug and play and it should work just as the factory one did. Stay tuned. Okay, we're inside now. I've got the switch off the bike, and before we start cutting and splicing I want to make sure that I've got the right wiring diagram for the bike. I can't confirm the wiring for the turn signal switch because it's broken, but we can check the high beam and the horn, so that's what we'll do now. The horn button, it says, this wiring diagram says I should have continuity between black, yellow and black when I hit the horn, so we'll find black, yellow and black in here. They're in the middle, so there's black and black, yellow. Okay, I'll stick my probes between those two. This is when it would be useful to have a third hand. I'll hold it in tightly and I'll press the horn button. So that means that's correct. Black, yellow, and black for the horn. And now for the high beams. On low, I should have continuity, it looks like, between brown and red, yellow. So between brown and red, yellow. There's brown and red, yellow. So it's on low now. I should have continuity there. And I do. So that confirms that. I'll switch it to high, and now I shouldn't have continuity between brown and red, yellow. So that circuit's open now. Sorry, I touched them together as I put them in. That circuit's open, and I should instead have continuity between brown and red, black. So let's find red, black. There's red, black. Brown to red, black. So between these two we should have continuity on high. Yep. And I'll switch it to low beam again, and that opens that circuit. Okay, so this wiring diagram's correct, and now next we'll confirm the wiring of the Amazon version, and then we'll just match colors and do some soldering. It shouldn't take much more time than that. We'll see in a minute. Okay, now we need to figure out, just confirm the wiring with the cheapo replacement, the Amazon special here. So I think from the work I did off camera, we'll just confirm with you guys though that for the lights, the blue-white is the common. So there's blue-white there. I'll stick my probe in there. And on the low setting, I should have continuity between the common, which is the blue-white, and just the regular white. So there's, and then I'll switch it to high beam. That circuit's interrupted, and now I should have continuity between the common, blue, white, and blue. There we go. So that's our high, low. And next we can do the horn. The horn, I think, is green, are the two green wires. I've got a darker green and like a mint green, so that should be open normally. If I can get my probes in there. Oops. So open normally, and then when I press the horn button, if my probes are in there properly, I should get a tone. Maybe we'll go in here. Green and mint green. We're in there. We'll press the horn button. And it's not working. And now this is also a $15 switch, so it could be the switch, but it could also be how I've got my probes in there. There we go. Okay. Now we press it. There we go. There's our horn button. So between green and mint green is our horn. And then the last three wires are the turn signals, which we can check because they're not broken like they were on the other one. So we've got the gray is the common, the red for left, and the blue for right. So in the middle, I should have no continuity between gray. We'll just jam that in there. We're gonna get rid of this connector anyway. So no connector, no connection from either red or blue there. And then left turn, which is left there. I should have continuity now between gray and red. Here's the red one. There we go. And then right, I should have no continuity with red, and I should be continuous with blue instead. And then center, I've got no continuity with blue or red. Okay, so now we know all of our wire colors. I'll note that on the drawing, and then we'll do our cutting and splicing. Okay, so based on the measurements we've done on the previous switch and the new switch, I have sort of a conversion table here. So I have my, let's get you up a little bit. I have the old wire colors, old, spliced to the new wire colors here. So the first three are the turn signals, and then we have a pair for the horn, and then the next three are for the lights. This connector has 8, there's 5 in the harness and then 3 loose ones, and this one has 9 connectors, but I noticed on the wiring diagram that just after the connector, it looks like we have a red-black tied in with a red-white tied in with a brown, and we can confirm that with my meter. So what did I say? Red, white, and brown are tied together. So where's our red, white, and our brown? So there, and here. Oh, my meter's turned off. There and there. Okay, so those two are tied together. That may backfeed something else, I'm not sure. So we'll make sure that connection gets made in the new harness. So I've reminded myself here in the old one to tie together the brown and the red white. All right, let's get to splicing. Okay, so I've got the whip from the new Amazon switch, tails cut off, and then I've got the original Kawasaki cord end here. I'm going to splice these all together. Before I do, I'm going to tin everything, and that just means, you know, cover them with a little bit of solder, so I don't have to have a third hand while I'm connecting the wires together, because they'll each already have their solder that they need. And then so it's just merely a matter of heating them up and connecting them that way. So let's just tin these first. So before I solder my connections, I've cut little pieces of heat shrink tubing that I'm going to put on each conductor, and then of course when I'm done the solder, I'll slide these up and heat them over the joint, and it should keep it nice and low profile. This is an alternative to using those crimp-on butt splices that take up a lot of space, and since I haven't staggered these, I didn't end up with a real bundle of splices, which would be a bit unsightly. Everybody's got one, I think. So now it's just a matter of following our roadmap here. So the old one, I'm going to try and minimize crossover, but I'm not sure there's a lot we can do. So I'll go orange on the old, gray on the new. That'll be our first connection. And of course we've tinned already, so with just a little bit of heat. And those two end up together. So I'll continue to do this for the rest. Maybe I'll fast forward, but you get the idea. Gray to blue. Okay, so I think we're done the soldering. Let's just confirm. So orange on the old goes to gray on the new. Yeah, gray on the old goes to a light blue on the new. Green on the old goes to red on the new. Black on the old goes to green on the new. Black yellow on the old goes to mint on the new. Brown and red white get tied together. So there's brown and red white. They get tied together and they connect to blue white. Red black gets attached to blue, and red yellow gets attached to white. So what I'm going to do now, these have little sharp little ends on them. I'll squish them down, get rid of the sharp edges, and then I'll slide up the heat shrink, and then we'll shrink it on, and then we'll fire it on the bike and see if it works. Now this one, because it's 2 into 1, it's going to be a bit of a weirdo. I'm going to cover as much as I can, and then I've got some nice electrical tape that I'll run around it as well. So last step is to, you can see there's a little bit of bare copper in there. I'll tape up that junction, the 2-into-1 junction, and then get that protected, and then I'll sort of group everything up and throw a quick wrap of tape around the whole works, and then we will, yeah, that's not too bulky. I'll throw some tape around here, maybe continue this sheathing out to here with some tape, and then we'll take it out of the bike and see if it works. Right on. So we're going to head out to the garage next, but I think we've accomplished what we came here for, which was to splice in the new turn signal switch into the existing Kawasaki plug. So it should work seamlessly if we've got our wires identified correctly. Let's head back out to the garage. Okay, we're back at the bike. Here's the connector for the bike side of the left switch assembly, and we have our newly spliced replacement switch assembly. I've got the front cowling here just loosely because to access this wiring, and I've got a few other things to do on the bike, but I wanted to have the turn signals hooked up. So we'll go ahead and plug the harness in. Okay, we'll turn, I'll mount this all later. I just want to see if it works, or if we're wasting our time here. Turn it on and try the horn. Okay, I'll try the brights. Good. See those switch in there. And then lastly, the most important is the turn signal. So left turn, good. Left in the front, left in the back. And right turn, right in the front, right in the back. All right. So that went pretty well. Hope you learned something in the video. If you've got basic soldering skills and a bit of patience and understanding of the wiring diagrams, something like this is a pretty simple afternoon project. You save yourself a bit of money and learn something along the way. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe out there and enjoy the ride. Bye for now.